I love, love, love gray. If you walk away with anything in your head from this whole day, use gray instead of black in all of your graphic design. So I've used gray, a really middle gray here, to further, you remember we're operating on the subconscious level for the map reader to separate these city labels from the state labels. So these are pretty much black still, and these are gray, and the city symbols are a nice middle gray as well. So there's that visual structure tying the reader's eye from the city label to the city point, and separate from the state label, which is uppercase and black. So these little typographic variables make the map more intuitive to read. Everybody got a pretty good idea type. We're just going to keep working with that, and I'll show you a couple more tricks up here in the next 15 or 20 minutes.
How do you use the color of the city dots?
Oh, the city dots? Good question. I didn't talk about that at all. So if you have those, I made those city dots intentionally really ugly. They should be like teal and red. So if you look at these layers I have here, the city dots are in a layer called US caps, and mine are all gray. And let's say I didn't like them. So a quick selection tool, if I have my US caps layer unlocked, and I zoom over here to fit on screen, I have all my 50 capital cities as gray dots. The easiest way to select everything in a layer is on the right side of that layer panel. Just click on it, and I got everything. Alright, show you that again. Nothing selected, go over to the US caps layer, the far right side of that layer, click on it, everything's selected.
How do you get every other thing to disappear from the dots?
Basic label or layer functions, the eyeballs that are gone, these eyeballs over here.
Or you just made them disappear?
I just turn them off. In general, unless you need them for referencing, like you need the US cap points to add your cap labels or your state labels, only have the layers you need on, and only have the layers you're editing unlocked. That will save you countless headaches, as some of you have already learned. So, to change the capitals, let's say I want to make them really ugly green. I will select them all. I will choose this fill color to be, oh, so what happened there? I'm going to go into a little deep, there's this box here, right? Do you guys see that box that's highlighted? I don't want that anymore. So I drag the box around where the edge of it is, and I'm going to delete it. And so now everything in this layer is just those capitals. And now they're green, and we're going to add a really horrible red stroke. And now, just to prove that I did that, that's what they look like now. So that's kind of what you have. To make them a nice gray, I'm going to walk you through that again. So in my US caps label, I can select one of these, and I can say select same appearance. That's another way to get all of those selected. And I'm going to change them from this green and red. I don't want any stroke, so that's what this little candy cane diagonal is over here in my color dialog. That is going to eliminate any stroke. So now I just have green dots, and I want to turn those green dots to gray. So gray, a little color theory here, is 3 or 4 of the values exactly the same. So if I do 43, 43, 43, that will be gray in my CMY slider. I'll just turn that to 0. The black is 0. So I now have gray dots.
Can you please go back to what was the box that you eliminated?
Yeah, so I'll undo everything until I deleted that box. I did that kind of quickly. Control-Z is the most important tool in Illustrator, by the way. Edit undo. I think it stores like 100 or 200 undos. So there's that box. So this is preventing me from doing a global change because it fills everything red, and that's bad. That's because one of the things in this US caps layer is this box. It's not just 50 dots. There's 50 dots in this annoying box. So I want to get rid of that box. So I know that it's up there. So I'm just going to drop, with my selection tool, I'm just going to grab the edge of it, which highlights the whole box. And I'm carefully making sure not to get any of the capitals in there, because I'm going to delete this box. And I just hit the delete key on the keyboard. Alternatively, I could have found where this box is within this layer structure. So by the way, when you have these layers, So I'm looking at this US caps layer. If I hit this arrow, it's going to open it up like a file drawer and show me all the graphic elements within that layer, one by one. So as you can see, there's these paths that are gray dots. One of these paths it'll show me is going to be that box. And it's tedious because there's 50 gray dots. But there it is, the bottom one, when you know it, is this box that is being indicated as selected with this green box next to it. So alternatively, another way to delete that is to select that and then hit the little trash can. Okay, so there's several ways to get rid of that box. I've just shown you 2 or 3 of them. A couple other things. I want to pretend like this is a cooking show, and instead of waiting for all of you guys to cook your turkeys and 2 hours later, let's pretend we got all our labeling done and we want to add some of the classic map elements and export our map. We're done, so this map needs a title, right? But right now, there's no room for the title. The document size isn't permitting it. So I either want to scale down the US or make the document size bigger. I'm going to make the document size bigger, and this is a really helpful tool, guys. So using this tool over here, the artboard tool, I have my artboards. That's one way to adjust the size of the document. And you can drag this around. So this is the size of the printed document right now, or the PDF that we're going to output. There's also this neat line on there that I don't like anymore. Did everybody see this gray neat line that is somewhere? In the states layer, there's a neat line. I'm going to delete that. So this gray box, I've unlocked my states layer. There's this box. I'm going to delete that. So I just have the US floating here. I'm going to add a title and a couple things about cartography. Every map needs a title. And the title text should be the largest type on the map every time. So we're going to our title type layer up here. That is the label, the layer I'm editing. It's highlighted, it's visible. I'm going to use my type tool. And I'm going to add a 36-point string of Arial type called Is that right? Is that
Capital.
Should be A. Right? I would screw that up. Is capital city A or O?
A.
A. And that appears to be kerned negatively, which it is. I don't like that for my title. And as the rule of the day, I'm going to make that gray. There's no need for that to be black. Also, every map document you ever create needs not only to have a title, but it needs to have author and source, which generally go in the bottom of the frame. So in my title type layer that I'm still editing, I'm going to add another text string that says source Kirk Goldsberry or Harvard. Let's call it Harvard data set. Some imaginary Harvard GIS data. And then author, Kurt Goldsberry. And now, what's wrong with that type block? There's a lot wrong with that type block, right? But in terms of our new type terms, that is still having some leading applied. So it's 36-point type, but it has the leading here, the line spacing of 7-point type. So I'm just going to change that to 36. But that's really too small. So I would bring this source and author down to about 10-point total type. And I would just stick it somewhere down here. And maybe make it